What's going on, Jerome's? Minnesota Fighting Vikings first-round pick Lewis Cine in 2022 didn't quite have the rookie season that everyone was envisioning, but the pride of Georgia, is looking to have a major comeback season this year, even though the Viking safety room is rather crowded at this point. The fact that Brian Flores loves using multiple safeties, he loves aggression and blitzing in his safeties, and that's something that is Lewis Cine's forte. So I think that he's going to rise up and contribute this season and set himself up to be a future star for the Vikings long term. So let's talk about Lewis Cine today. Background: 23 years young, 6'1", 200, a former 4-star recruit from Cedar Hill, Texas. Was a 2-year starter for the Georgia Bulldogs. 2021 was his breakout season. 43 tackles, a pick, 9 passes broken up, 81.6 PFF grade with an 87.3 grade in coverage. First team All SEC, national champion, defensive MVP in the Natty as well. And he was absolutely that enforcer on the back end of that legendary Georgia defense. He's just ready to pop someone, man. That's why he talked about last offseason he wants to stack up bodies, and that's exactly what he's going to do at the safety position. 9.92 RAS testing-wise, 4.37 40, solid in the jumps as well. All-around physical freak. And his scouting report, Landserline, NFL.com, draft projection round 2, NFL comp, Anthony Harris. And before you write that off, remember, Anthony Harris was a bad dude back in the day. Like, when Harrison and Anthony Harris were at their peak, arguably one of the best safety duos in the NFL, Anthony Harris played on the franchise tag for the Vikings, making $11 million and change, man. Crazy. But overview. Cine plays with a willing aggressiveness that fit right with Georgia's talented stop unit. He plays with an urgent downhill approach, which leads to memorable collisions, but he's not always under control in getting there. He doesn't have desired mass and stopping power for a style of play, but gets the work done. Cine's lacks range and instincts to play over the top and is better suited to play split safety and down safety alignments. He can handle man coverage underneath, but doesn't have the hips to swing and sway with talented receivers down the field. Neither do most safeties. Cine has future starting potential as a zero-flinch safety, but has limitations for defenses to consider. And Lewis Cine, as a rookie, unfortunately had a couple minor injuries in training camp, was stuck behind the 8-ball, but played in 3 games, mainly on special teams, had 2 defensive snaps, 34 on teams, and just really had that unfortunate injury over in London against the Saints that curtailed his rookie season. And Cine, putting in that work, revved up, ready to go. His teammates saying that they forgot that he was injured, and they have been bringing him along slowly in OTAs and mandatory minicamp, mainly working with the twos. Probably something that's going to continue into training camp. But Lewis Cine is ready to go, man. And what's really unfair is that Lewis Cine is always going to be compared to Kyle Hamilton, who the Vikings could have drafted at 12, but they decided to trade down with the Lions, who ultimately took Jameson Williams. Bit of a gamble there. But then the Ravens took Hamilton, and Hamilton had one of the best seasons for a rookie, or best seasons just in general at safety. So he's always going to be tied to that. But it's just 1 year, man. There's a long way to go, and Lewis Cine obviously has a ton of talent, but like we said, there is a backlog of safeties this year, with Harrison Smith redoing his contract, taking a major pay cut, one last ride. Cam Beasley still in the mix, played every single snap last year, as well as Josh Metellus finally getting his in year 4. I think that he is going to be an X factor on that defense with Flores, as Flores does love running to multiple safety looks. And I think that, so a lot of people complain that, hey, Lewis Cine, why aren't you Kyle Hamilton? Or Lewis Cine, how come you can't beat out Cam Beasley? Lewis Cine and Cameron Bynum are two completely different safeties. Like, it really is oil and water. Lewis Cine is much more like Harrison Smith. Cam Bynum is more like Anthony Harris, in my opinion. Or the classic safety duo of Cam Beasley is more like Diet Earl Thomas, and Lewis Cine is more like Cam Chancellor. Not saying that Beasley's Earl Thomas, but all that stuff. So, don't fret about Cine not beating out Cameron Bynum. They play 2 completely different positions, even though they do have the S by their name. But I think 1 for 1, Lewis Cine is going to be the heir apparent for Harrison Smith. I think that's why Kwesi did select him in the first round last year, and I think that's the game plan. I think that the succession is going to go from Harrison Smith to Lewis Cine. I think their games align very much, and I think that they bring something very similar to the Vikings. So I'm not ready to give up on Lewis Cine, man, even though, yes, Bit of a slow rookie year, but putting in that work, he's an inspiring story. He's going to come back even stronger, and I think every single rep, whether it's special teams or defense, he's going to make them count because he saw what can happen in a flash, in an instant. And I think he's going to come back even stronger. He's a humble, hardworking kid. He's really easy to root for. He's a physical talent. He's a physical freak, and I think that he's going to have a phenomenal year too, no matter how much work that he gets. But your thoughts on our thoughts. Lewis Cine, comeback season in year 2. Let us know your thoughts on our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.